Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Science and IT in One. Today we'll be starting with chapter 27 of the novel Nectar in a Sieve. One or two of the regulars in the temple recognized us. What, you back again? Trouble with your daughter-in-law? No doubt. Some sniggered knowingly, others were sympathetic. Ah, well, things often turn out unexpectedly. Perhaps your luck will change soon. A few were antagonistic. Antagonistic means angry and openly so. Like Amu, they saw their share of food shrinking with each additional mouth. Outsiders should not be allowed, they grumbled. Are there not enough destitute in the city without the whole of India flocking in? We looked at them resentfully. We not as hungry as they? Soon we were looking at newcomers with a fearful eye, wondering with each fresh arrival how much less there would be. Each night was a struggle, more fierce now that we were daily engaged in it. I saw night after night what I had not observed before, the lame with their crutches knocked away from them so that they fell and were unable to rise, the feeble separated from their supporters so that their numbers were halved. Many a time my husband stood aside, unable to face the fray. The fray means the commotion. If I had not reproached him, his distaste of the whole procedure would have led him to starvation, as it was more often than not one meal sufficed for two. So we can see how Nathan is weak, therefore he did not join to get the food. If Rukmani did not scold him, we would starve. So Rukmani reproached him, means scolded him. And when the crowd had dispersed to sleep, to beg, to scavenge in the cool of the night and early dawn, we sat in the quiet courtyards, or leaned our backs against the pillars in the paved corridors, making our plans and thinking, always thinking. With each passing day, the longing for the land grew. Our plans were forged against a background of brown earth and green fields, and the ripe, rustling paddy, not curiously as they were, but as we had known them, as we had first known them. So we can see the unkindness, brutality, and the pathetic plight of the helpless. So people are mocking at them actually. People were mocking at them. Fresh, open, and unspoiled with the delicate scents and sounds untainted, with the skies clear above them and the birds finding sanctuary amid the grasses, and at the same time keeping pace with these longings. Our distaste for the city grew and became a sweeping, pervading hatred. Better to starve where we were bred than live here, Nathan said passionately. Whatever happens, whatever awaits us, we must return. But how? We have no money. My husband can till and sow and reap with skill, but here there is no land. I can weave and spin or plait matting, but there is no money for spindle, cotton, or fibre. Where shall a man turn who has no money? Where can he go? Wide, wide world, but as narrow as the coins in your hand, like a tethered goat, so far and no further. Only money can make the rope stretch, only money. So they have no money to go back, no land to go back, but thinking of each passing day, the longing for the land grew with them. So they were keeping pace with these longings. The nasty people were in the city. We can see how the nasty people were there in the city. Then one day, Then one day I thought I would set myself up as a reader of letters, such as there are in most villages and surely also in cities. Who ever heard of a women reader? So the sexist, the misogynistic view of the men are brought out here. Said Nathan, no one will come to you. If I ask little and less than the others, custom there will surely be, said I. In any case, one must try. Even a few enough would help. Do you think you could? Nathan was half despondent, half eager, and somehow the eagerness alone communicated itself to me. Yes, I'm sure. If I write letters as well as read them, I shall learn even more. How can you write without paper or ink? Who asks must provide, I said confidently. Leave it to me. We looked at each other and hope stirred, albeit cautiously making us cheerful. We shall need about 10 rupees, Nathan said, for our food on the way and to pay the carter. Say 2 rupees more in case we are 3 days traveling. Each 8 letters a day at an anna each. I said, say half that for rice each day. We made our calculations, crushing optimism when it arose so that we might be certain, absolutely certain. And at last we said to each other, soon we shall be back. All that day and many following, I sat by the side of the road, leading to the bazaar, calling to those who passed, adding to the general clamor. Mints hurrying by stopped to stare inquisitively before moving on. Idlers stood or sat around lazily, indulging. Um, Youths sauntered by isolate of iron manner, speaking loudly with exaggerated clearness to each other that might hear. She says she can read these village folk are certainly getting about themselves. She's a writer as well. What do you suppose she writes with? Probably uses her whispers laugh. Oh, come away, she is past all that. She must be mad to imagine. Grimly, I took no notice and went on with my cries. By the end of the day, my voice was hoarse, my mouth tasted of the dust that each passing pair of feet raised. My hair was full of it. I earned 2 annas and I spent it on a rice cake for us to eat in the morning. One year ended, a new one began. Worshippers at the temple brought garlands of jasmine instead of chrysanthemums, and roses had disappeared from the feet of the gods. So, being hopeful is a survival strategy for Nathan and Rukmani. So half eager, half despondent means the negative thinking of Nathan. Nathan here is not optimistic. He thinks very negatively. So they dream of food happiness when there is no way back to where they were. Still, we stayed on in the city, and whether from its fumes or from the blighting of our hopes, my husband began to suffer again from rheumatism. At the same time, the old bouts of fever began over and over again. I told myself, we must go from here, especially at night, when my husband lay beside me, twisting and straining in his sleep. It seemed to be the only hope, the one hope for him, and I would look at the yellow flare burning from the top of the temple, and at the carven gods vigilant about us. And only one prayer did I utter. I was returning to the temple one evening, hurrying so that I should be in good time for the meal, when I heard someone running after me, shouting something I could not understand. I stopped at last and looked round, peering at the boy who had come up panting. But it was dusk, and I did not recognize him. Do you pretend you do not know me? He said accusingly. I'm Polly. I have come for my payment. Payment? What payment? I owe no one anything. I walked on quickly, and the lad came after me. I took you to the doctor's house not so long ago either, and he promised to pay. I remembered now. It was the boy with the impudent face who had guided us. So insolent, you can write down in the previous place, lack of respect. So during this era, they believed the women were not educated at all. So we can see how Nathan got sick even very gradually. If you do not, he said threateningly, it will be the worse for you. I'm not used to being bilked. Bilked means cheated. I could not help smiling. This child spoke like a man using the words of a ruffian. Ruffian means rough thug. Intimidating to make someone less angry. Intending to make someone less angry. I'll pay if you if I could, I said pleasantly. So pleasantly is intending to make someone less angry. But I had nothing. Come and see for yourself. If you do not believe me, I do not, he said frankly. I will see for myself. I hurried on and he came after dodging my footsteps in the suspicious silence. Now came running to meet me. Where on earth have you been? The food has all gone. Luckily, today I was able to get near, otherwise you should have starved. Blame this lad. I said he would stop and argue. Nathan peered at Polly. Who is he? What does he want of you? Before I could reply, the boy advanced. I want payment, that's what I want, he said truculently. I shall see that I get it. Payment? What for? asked Nathan, bewildered. He too had forgotten. He guided us to the doctor's house, I explained, when we came first. There was a pause. Nathan began sharing out the rice and dal, carefully tearing the plantain leaf he carried into three pieces on which to put each portion. I had with the day's earnings brought as usual one rice cake which I had broken out to hand round. The boy stared at it. You must have money, otherwise how could you buy rice cakes? I sighed. I earn 2 annas a day by writing letters, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. I buy food with it. It is not unreasonable, Nathan said impatiently, seeing how one portion has sometimes been stretched up to three. At last, Puli seemed satisfied. He began to eat, and once more I saw that he had no fingers, only stumps. He himself did not appear to find any difficulty uh, in managing without, except that once or twice he had to use both hands, and there was a certain awkwardness in this handling of food. Despite myself, I could not keep my eyes off his hands. The harder I tried to keep my gaze fixed elsewhere, the more it fastened itself to those stumps. Puli, seemingly unaware, continued eating stolidly. He is used to it, I thought. He knows and accepts the shameful probing curiosities of human beings. When we had eaten, a feather leaves to the gods and washed, Puri to my surprise lay down beside us. You had better go home, I said, nudging him. What will your poor mother think if you stay here all night? I have no mother, poor or otherwise, he said. There is no one to worry about me, and none to worry me either, which is a good thing. And turning on his side, he fell instantly asleep. So Nathan and Rukmini are so generous that they shared one portion with three people. Rukmani's maternal feelings of care extended to Puli, though her situation was much worse than Puli's. We can see that here. Might have felt apprehensive for him, but I knew him to be eminently capable of looking after himself. Oh, sorry, save that he so patently did not decide. I could not help feeling a vague responsibility which certainly I was in no position to fulfill. He's probably better fitted to fend off for himself than we are, Nathan began. But although he was echoing my thoughts, I found myself turning on him indignantly. How can you say such a thing? He is only a child, no more than 9 or 10, and he's not whole either, as we are. By that, he was right. Fully demonstrated the next morning. When we woke, we found him sitting cross-legged beside us, frowning thoughtfully. You earn 2 annas, he asked. After working all day, I nodded. Sometimes 3 or 4. Between 2 and 4, then he amended impatiently. Have you no wish to earn more? I stared at him, if only I could. So patently means clearly, and apprehensive viewing the fair with anxiety. If only I could, I said, half breathless. Is there somewhere? There is a stone quarry, he said, not far from here. Stone breakers and good fetchers. And who will employ us? Said Anand sadly. At our age, such heavy work would in every event be beyond us. Age doesn't matter, the boy said impatiently. As for who will employ you, there's no such thing. Anyone can go and work and be paid by the results. So much for each sackful. Are we not beyond such labor? Indeed, no. All kinds work in the quarry, men, women, and children. I would work too, he added, but I cannot hold a hammer or stone firmly enough. One can earn a lot if one works quickly. Lead on, Nathan said. We are in your hands. So, with that, we end part one of chapter 27, and in the next video, we'll meet with part two. So, thank you for listening. Like this video, subscribe my channel, if possible, even share this video and click the bell icon for more notifications. Thank you.